Hello, I'm Gary, and I'm here to talk to you about the Drive kiteboard from Liquid Force Kiteboarding. So, what I would like to do is talk first about what makes a kiteboard perform the way it should perform. There's three things when we design a kiteboard that we really look at. First one is called the shape of the board. The shape is not just the outline, but it's also what we do in terms of the bottom contours and so forth. And that really affects the way the board rides through the chop. It also affects the way the board lands on off of big jumps and how it takes off the water when you're jumping. The next thing in terms of construction that is very important is the flex of the board. So how we alter the flex of the board and tune the flex of the board is in the thickness of the core overall from tip to tip, and also how we lay it up in terms of the glass, the fiberglass layup construction of the sandwich construction of the board. So that's very important also. Last thing that is extremely important is what we call the rocker. The rocker is the bend or the curvature in the board from tip to tip. That greatly affects the ride of the board too. The more rocker you have in a board, it does soak up chop a little bit more, but it also pushes a bit of water, so it makes progression going upwind a little bit harder. The lower the rocker makes the board more efficient and progress upwind better, but it does have a tendency to catch in the chop. So it's very important, the rocker of the board, when you're looking at purchasing a board and what you want the board to do. So let's particularly right now talk about the Drive. So the Drive for Liquid Force is what we call a progression kiteboard. This is a great kiteboard for anyone that's just getting out of their lesson program, all the way up to an advanced kiteboarder that's learning how to jump, do big air, do air transitions, and really just ride the all-terrain. You know, you can take this in really choppy conditions, take it in some tiny surf and shred around and have a really good time. So let's talk about those three things. The first thing we want to talk about is the shape of this board. So we have a nice, organic, really all-encompassing shape. You can tell there's not a lot of hard edges on it or hard tips. It's very kind of square. The width on it, it's not too wide and it's not too narrow. It's a very all-around width in the midsection of the board. And then the other thing we have in here is we have a single concave that goes tip to tip. So when you look at this concave, it has a nice concave going throughout the entire board through the middle. What that does, it creates water flow, redirects the water as you're edging through the fins, makes the board very efficient, and it starts to soak up chop really nice and helps you progress upwind. So the shape of this board is just a very nice all-around shape. The next thing we have is a wood core, 100% wood core through what we call a profiler. So this is a profiled wood core that's in all of our Drive kiteboards in the Drive family. We use that type of construction. So the core gets put through a machine that precisely machines the tips through the midsection to have a nice even thickness to make a very mellow flex. We have in this board what we call a controlled flex. It's a great all-around flex, soaks up chop really nice, creates a nice, really smooth ride. On top of that, we have biax and triax glass to lock that flex in, create a durable board. And then we cap that with what we call a liquid rail. The liquid rail is a very durable rail in case you ride up onto the beach, you accidentally come in contact with a rock, or hey, if the unfortunate situation happens where you drop it getting out of your car, you have a nice durable rail on here that's not gonna shatter and affect the performance of the board. The other thing we have in here is what we call a low rocker. When we look at the rocker, what the rocker does is, like I said, that helps cut through chop. It also helps the efficiency of the board. A low rocker in this Drive does a few things for you. Very efficient when you get up into planing, points upwind really, really nice. And it does handle everything from medium to high chop with good efficiency. Overall, it's just a great rocker profile for all sorts of riding and all-terrain riding. The next thing we got in here is our fin setup. Obviously our fins come with what we call a polymer fin, an extremely durable fin that in case you come in contact with the bottom or hit a rock, they're extremely durable. They're fluted towards the base, so they have extremely nice water flow, and they help you edge and they help you go upwind. So who's this board for, the Drive? The Drive is for that all-around rider looking for a board that will take them in any type of condition, any type of choppy water, looking to progress, start doing big jumps, transitions, anything from getting out of your lesson plan to being an advanced kiteboarder. Liquid Force Drive.